This is a brief presentation which seeks to introduce PFI's vision. Crime can be a response to pain and a cause of pain. It can lead to imprisonment of offenders and leave victims sad and broken, or angry and wanting revenge. Ultimately, it leads to broken relationships between people and amongst communities. A common factor underlying both the causes and effects of crime is the damage to our hearts and minds. The prison walls are frequently a symbol of our hearts and minds that are similarly imprisoned. Victims also find themselves suffering from the inside by carrying a heavy burden of suffering. Wouldn't it be great if we could restore health and hope in the midst of this brokenness? This would mean people finding peace with themselves and those around them. This means people embarking on a journey of courage where they reach out to one another and seek reconciliation. Reconciliation to a point where they could at least shake hands. We, however, seek more than reconciliation. We would love to see restoration as well. We want to see more than old cars in their old condition back on the road again. Rather, we want to see people renewed so that they can thrive again. Restoration is so much more than a handshake alone. But how? How do we get there? We can't find it within ourselves, as it was ourselves that got us into this mess in the first place. Firstly, we must acknowledge that a price must be paid for the pain we have caused. From a human perspective, this debt is paid by serving time for the crime. But when it comes to our hearts, there's nothing we can do by ourselves to pay off the debt. The debt we have in our hearts is a debt we owe God. The good news is that Jesus paid the price. He paid it with his life. But there would be little point if the debt was paid, yet nothing within us were to change. We would just end up going back to the same thing, repeating the same mistakes, suffering the same pains. So Jesus not only died to pay the debt of our sins, but also overcame death and rose again. He offers us this same transforming power. Jesus, with the help of his followers, can lead us to a place where we can receive this transforming power. As more and more lives are transformed, communities are also transformed. And this is how we come to our vision. As Prison Fellowship, we see a reconciling community of restoration for all those involved in or affected by crime, thereby proclaiming and demonstrating the redemptive power and transforming love of Christ for all people.